removed. And then what about at x equals 1? What's happening there? Yeah, vertical asymptote, which is an infinite discontinuity at x equals 1, which is not removable because you can't fix those. Okay, and then number 3, I was just looking for you to do all transformation rules. So how has the graph of 1 over x, how has that been transformed? What else? Okay. Okay. So since it has moved to the right 3, that means its asymptote, vertical 1, has now moved to the right 3. As well as it's going up 1, so its horizontal is now at 1. And then you could technically pair these together. Oops, wrong one. These and these. So your HA, your range will exclude your HA. And your domain will exclude your VA. All good so far? And then I'm going to draw those in. Now normally our 1 over x graph, right, would be here and here. But the reflection is going to put it here and here. So I don't need exact points really. We do know we'd have this point and this point. Otherwise, you can just sketch it in. That's fine. Any questions? Cool. Are we ready to graph sine and cosine today?
No.
What was it crowd?
Okay. So new vocab word. Anyone want to take a crack at this? Sinusoid.
That's a delicious word.
Kind of nice, isn't it? So
Sinusoid. Sounds like the name of a microorganism. You know, something that gets into it. Just,
all it is this sine or cosine. So here we go. Amplitude. Do you guys remember how to find amplitude if it's given in this form here?
vaguely. No, not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's if it's negative, you just take it to be positive. So technically, it's the absolute value of it. And that's going to give you how much you move up from the middle and how much you move down. So it's half the height of the wave. Period. So period is how long it takes to complete one of its cycles. Anybody remember that formula?
It's something.
There's a 2 in there.
2 pi over. Or is it just 2 pi?
2 pi over b. Frequency we're not going to do too much with, but that just means in 1 unit, how many cycles does it complete? So it's just the reciprocal of that. And then if you look up here, normal transformation rules apply. It's gonna move left or right H and up or down K, depending what those are. So phase shift is left or right, and that's gonna move H. Vertical translation is up or down, and that's gonna move K. All right, and then we're ready. Figure out, did you need me to go back?
Yeah. I just need.
Yep. Okay. Okay. So, let's remind ourselves of the circle and the 4 points. Bless you. Bless you. Hopefully, you remember that you were quizzed on this yesterday. If you go around and you want the sign, are you collecting the X's or the Y's? Okay. So at 0, the Y coordinate is 0. Pi halves, 1. Pi, 0. 3 pi halves, -1. And then back around, 0. All right, so the highest it goes is 1 and the lowest it goes is -1. And then I kind of already have it scaled for you here. We're gonna go 5 pi halves up to 2 pi. And then you're just gonna pop the points in your table. Here. So what's the amplitude? 1. And you can see that here as well, 1. What's the B value? The number beside X is 1, right? So our period formula is 2 pi over the B value, which is 2 pi. And you can see from our graph, right? Doesn't it complete a full cycle in 2 pi? Frequency would just be the reciprocal of that. How about domain? In range? Good. Brackets, -1 to 1, because it does actually touch. Any questions on sign? I'm gonna let you do cosine, so what are you gonna collect as you go around? Okay, alright, go ahead. Make it pretty graph.
Can I use this or are we not allowed?
Well, who would you ask that?
This was my gear, we all like to use our calculators.
Don't need the calculators, just gonna go around and see what you're gonna collect on the x coordinates.
I actually just know that cosine x is gonna be this but shifted over. Yeah, I'll still fill in the table.
Alright, did you get your graph looking like that? And all the stuff down here would be the same as sine.
Hey, have you ever wondered why there's wind?
Alright, so now we just need to transform graphs.
It's gravity. It's gravity. Your explanation better. No, earthquakes are not God. Earthquakes are when God has cramps. When God's constipated.
Alright, what's the amplitude? 2. What's the B value?
2.
So 2 pi over 2 is gonna make our P value pi. And then have you caught on, what's the domain of any sine or cosine? Wonderful. Now I'll leave the range till the graph, but then we'll make a connection. Alright, so every 4 marks on the x scale is gonna be pi. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, and pi. And then we're just gonna cut in half and cut in half again. So what's half a pi?
You counted 5, but only wrote 4.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, I thought you said,
Oh,
I thought you said 5.
okay. What's half a pi?
Pi over 2.
And what's half a pi over 2?
Pi over 4.
And then you just count. Every
3 pi over 2, I think.
mark, well, close. Every mark is
3 pi over 4.
a 4. So 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. So 3 pi over 4.
Then it'll be more sort of come after 3 pi after 2 comes after pi.
Okay, and then you use your amplitude. Up 2, down 2. And then this is just the regular sine graph, right? So sine starts centered. Sine center. So the range, Brian, what's the range?
-2 brackets.
I find this stupid easy.
Good.
Yeah. I like easy lessons. They're fun.
Now, could you have told me the range before you graphing it? Because it didn't move up or down, right? So you just went up 2, down 2.
Shouldn't take your
Negative.
kids to take the test, right?
That doesn't mean it.
Stop it.
Should be.
All right. Just cover it. Go ahead.
I was like,
Nick, tell me one thing about this next graph.
It's got a negative. It's got a negative.
What's that gonna do?
It's gonna flip the sides of the wave.
Yeah. So instead of starting up here, it's gonna start down here. Okay. Tell me something else.
It's about the work done about the next graph or this
Yeah,
graph.
the next graph.
So the next graph is, can I tell you the range?
Yeah.
The range is going to be 4 in square brackets.
Right.
Oh, okay. No. Oh, I was on the wrong one. My bad. I on
Okay, number
the
2.
wrong one. The range is gonna be, it's gonna be a -1, 1. I was looking at the wrong problem.
That's okay. Aiden, you wanna tell me something else?
The domain will be always.
Okay. Oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't know if you.
Okay. How about
How well?
Aiden, something else?
Oh, the amplitude is -1, but it's just.
Remember, amplitude is a distance technically, so you just you ignore the negative, so it's just 1.
I love absolute values.
And then what's B? 3. So the period is 2 pi over 3. All right, we're ready to go. So the 4th notch is 2 pi thirds. So what's half of 2/3?
2 pi 6, 1/3.
Almost use it. Just good stuff, right? Because if you're baking, you need 2/3 cup.
Absolutely.
But if you want to have your recipe, you need 1/3 of a cup, right?
Yes.
This is important stuff. So then what's half of a third? 6. So then if you needed to even cut a third in half, you'd have to fill that third a cup in half. We don't usually make 6 cups. All right, and then we count. 1 6, 2 6,
3 6, 1/2.
All right. Amplitude is 1, so up 1, down 1. And then as Nick pointed out, it is reflected, so instead of starting up for cosine, it's going to start down and do its thing.
I feel so bad. Feel so bad. I don't know what that was.
I don't either.
Even I don't know what that was.
Me last night after I ate 2 times.
After you two bags.
There are these little mini Oreo things, and I eat 2 instead of 1.
Oh, did you guys have your banquet?
Once I ate like multiple boxes of granola bars at once.
They were just in my cupboard.
It's like 4 boxes of granola bars all
Alright, that's
sitting
good.
at the runs for the rest of the Oh, she's hypnotized. It's normal for her.
Alright.
This is normal for her. This is her normal.
One more slide. Okay,
I feel bad.
I'm ready. 1. B is 4. So P is 2, pi over 2.
I got the domain for you.
Yeah? Okay. Now range we're gonna hold off on until we do the graph. You might know, just hold on.
But what's the period? That's a period.
Now, the pi force moves it which way? And where does it go? Up, down? Okay. Same idea. We're gonna extend both directions since we're moving it, okay? Every 4 is pi over 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is pi over 2. Pi over 4. And then,
Pi over 8.
good.
I have a beautiful radio voice.
And then 1/8, 2/8,
Okay.
3/8.
Now you can see what happens.
Mm-hmm,
Oh, you have to be the
correct.
I can't understand this lesson.
Good.
Don't confuse me.
Okay. Next, you have to take care of the up 1. Okay, so I like to draw some dashed lines to help me. So I'm gonna go up 1. And draw a dashed line. Now, this is not an asymptote, it's just gonna help us with that. And then from there is where you use the amplitude. So from that line, it's called the midline. You go up 1 and down 1.
Wait, where did we figure out that that's on the line? Because amplitude.
This?
You're going up one.
Now, you don't have to draw the lines in, but I think it helps keep your points organized, because you know that all of your points have to be on one of those 3 lines. And now, do you see the range? Your graph lives between 0 and 2. And you could have seen that from here, you know it's +1 with an amplitude of 1, so it's gonna be 1 above 1 and 1 below 1. All right, here's where you have to pay attention. Sine. Sine is centered, right? So it should start. Yeah, don't put a point there though. I have an undo button. It should start there, yes?
Yeah.
However, it's moving to the left by force.
Now it's gonna be in the middle of nowhere.
No.
David points to like that.
Okay?
It's gonna be in the middle of nowhere.
There's no line there.
I do a little smiley so you know where we started. Okay?
Don't put it to start here.
Then from there, you follow the sine pattern. So from here, then you'd go up, down, down, up. There's one cycle. And then you can fill in more on both sides. Huh? What's that?
Fine.
Oh,
You guys should fight. So I guess you don't wanna do it that bad.
alright, we doing alright?
Yes.
Okay. The last drafting question, there's something different. Have you noticed anything?
Yeah, there's a lot more stuff.
I heard,
There's a negative.
Josie? Yeah. Go back. Hold on. It's not a big deal, but it will be a big deal if you forget to do it. That p value has to be factored out before you can start talking about how it's been shifted. So. We are going to factor it out.
Don't let him in.
Okay, now, if you need to, work it out. So we are taking a 2 out of a pi half, yes? Pi halves divided by 2, right? Is that pi halves times 1/2?
Yeah.
Okay, don't be too proud if you have to just write it out, yeah? Again, if you forget to do that, your graph's not gonna be shifted the right way. Okay, amplitude?
And the thing is pi.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So we have
It's all real.
2 pi over 2, which is pi.
On the bonus history, I wrote addition.
All reals. We'll skip the range real quick. Horizontal shift, left, right, up, down.
Down.
Okay. So every 4 is pi. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then cut in half, cut in half. We did this one earlier.
Pi halves, pi fourths, pi
3, 4,
4.
5.
No, I was gonna
Yeah.
get there. I was gonna be there. I said it now.
All right. You're gonna start at the down 1. And then from there, you're gonna go up 3.5 and down 3.5. So we're at negative 4.5. And then up 3.5. So there's our range, negative 4.5 to 2.5. Okay, and then we have negative cosine again. So here's cosine. Negative cosine starts down here. But so it should start here, yes?
Yeah,
However,
but you have to move it.
it's going to the right 5/4. So it's going to start here instead. And then do the same. So to the right, you get almost a full cycle. Around and I go back. All right, so that's a good preview of different things you'll see. All right, we just have one more thing to do. Do you have any questions on graphing? All right, so we're gonna go backwards now. Given some information, write the equation. All right, so, period is 4 pi. So what you can do, we know the equation for p, right, is 2 pi over b. Set it equal to what the p is. And then you can solve for b.
2 pi. Wait, 2. Wait, what?
Oh no, cross multiply.
Oh, I didn't do that.
Yeah, I find it's better not to try to guess and check, just do the math, right? Let the math work for us.
I thought you were supposed to do
Divide.
divide and divide. I thought you were supposed to. You can. I thought you were supposed to multiply.
So b is a half. We know a is 3. Now, phase shift of 3, just to clarify, think of that as it's going to the right 3. Okay? So take the number in the physical sense of positive direction. So let's put it all together, and we're told that it's cosine. So your A is 3, cosine. And then your B value is a half. Now, what would I need to put in there to make it go to the right?
-3.
X minus 2.
Perfect. And technically, did anybody put a negative out front just for fun?
No.
If you want to be different, this would also satisfy it. So you should feel like you want to. Yeah. All right, go ahead. Do the same thing on number 2 to find B. All right, so did you get 5b is 2 pi? Did you get 2 pi over 5?
Yes.
Alright, then you're given some different information. The range is -3 to 11. So what's the midway point? So 7 up and 7 down, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, right?
Yeah.
So what you can do, ignore the sign, add 11 and 3, you get 14, right? Cut in half, you get 7. So 7 up from -3 is 4. Now that 7 is important because that gives us what? And then what does the 4 tell us? It's up 4. You doing all right? And then, what does that tell us? So that's 5, yeah?
Yeah, I turned to.
And it's signed. So we have everything now. 7, signed, 2 pi over 5, x plus pi plus 4. I think those ones are kind of fun personally. A little puzzle.
Question, Paul.
All right. You have about a mod to do homework today.
What is this stuff?
4.
How do I fix my hair?
I don't get what you're going at. I thought so. All right.